Hello again. Many old churches in this country are being attacked and vandalised. The lead is stripped from the roof, leaving them vulnerable to the elements. Silver chalices used for communion stolen. In fact, anything that's not red hot or nailed down is stripped from the inside of these churches. Our old churches are being attacked. The thumbnail to this video shows the awful damage caused to an old church by one such attack, where all the lead has been stripped off the roof, leaving the church vulnerable to decay and damage. Those responsible for such attacks are never white British people. In the description to this video I give links to a few cases of those convicted of attacking churches in this way. Constantine Motesco, Paul Boica, Mihai Bertu, Laurențiu Suchia Madalin, Gabriel Prundaru, Gigi Prundaru, and so on, but you get the idea. Churches, particularly in countryside, are being systematically attacked and in some cases destroyed. These attacks and thefts are an assault upon our history and culture, and they are also a direct attack on the Christian traditions of this country. Nobody much cares about the fact that churches in Britain are under systematic attack by foreigners, though. I mention this because it is something which is actually happening routinely. Attacks on churches. Nobody, least of all our government, cares about this or wishes to protect our churches. How different is the case when it comes to mosques? Nobody is vandalising or stealing from mosques, and yet it is these Muslim places of worship which are the particular concern of the British government rather than churches. Also in the description to this video I give a link to a bit on the government website, which is headed £28 million funding will help keep places of worship safe. Not our places of worship, you understand, but those of Muslims. We read that places of worship will receive £28 million in funding to help keep them and their attendees safe, the Security Minister announced today, 21st of June 2023. Gosh, that sounds good, doesn't it? Places of worship. However, when we read down, we find the following. In 2021 to 22, 2 in 5 religious hate crimes recorded by the police in England and Wales were targeted against Muslims. This year, up to £24.5 million will again be available to protect mosques and Muslim faith schools. This protection will be through a new scheme called the Protective Security for Mosques scheme, and a scheme for Muslim faith schools launched directly to teachers of eligible schools earlier in the year. An additional £3.5 million funding will also be available for all other non-Muslim faiths through the Places of Worship Protective Security Funding Scheme. So that's £24.5 million for Muslim places of worship and just £3.5 million for all other churches, temples and so on. Why do you think that Muslims get 7 times as much money as churches for protecting their premises? We're not told. Are mosques being methodically targeted by being damaged, broken into, vandalised and robbed in the way that churches are? No, they are not. This is awful and blatant discrimination against British people and their places of worship, and in favour of Muslims. It is a shocking case of religious prejudice. Anybody would think that the government didn't care about the destruction of churches, but thinks that it is really, really important to keep mosques safe. Why is that?